Welcome to Cleared Hot, guys. We're going to do a tutorial today on starting up the A-18 Hornet from a cold start. And doesn't that just look sensational? Nice night or evening time on the runway, looks fantastic. Now we're going to do a pretty easy startup today, nothing over the top, just something to get you guys in the air so you can start having a fly. And the next couple of videos I'll show you a bit more in-depth on what the systems do, how to work them, and probably show you some different munitions we can drop out of this thing. That looks fantastic, doesn't it? The shadows coming off of that this time of night, awesome, isn't it? Okay, let's jump into the cockpit. Here we go. Here we are in the cockpit. Have a look around. That looks awesome. Okay, first thing we need to do is get power into these systems. So what we have to do is get the battery turned on. Now don't make the mistake here of flicking the battery backwards into the override position, because you won't be able to start up the APU. So make sure that clicks forward. So like that, yes, it comes on, but the APU won't start up. So click that forward into the on position. I always like to arm my seat while I'm here just to get it out of the way. So with battery power on, we'll come over to the left hand side and we will turn on the APU. Click that forward, you'll hear it spool up. Now we need to wait for this green light here to come on, otherwise nothing will happen. So you'll see it come on shortly. That means it's ready. Below that we have the engine crank switch. Always start with the right hand side, because that's what all of your systems run off of, is the right engine. So down here you'll see the RPM, the temperature and the fuel flow. So what we need to do is wait for the RPM to come up to around 30, and we'll take the throttle out of the idle position to let it start up. So there we go, out of the idle, and you'll see it start spooling up. Now what that will do is allow you to turn all your systems on. So what we're going to do is turn on our left DDI, our right DDI, and also our center. So this one here isn't a switch, it's a rotating knob, so you scroll it up to turn it on for the brightness, and then that one will come on its own. So we can see what we're doing, and we have a bit more light in here because we're just starting to go down on dusk. On our right hand side here we've got our console lights, so we'll turn them up so nice and bright, and our instrument panel lights, we'll turn them up nice and bright too, and also our floodlights so we can see what we're doing. Now that we're starting to get a bit of noise, under here is our canopy switch, so we'll hold that down, close our canopy down. Now when you close this, make sure it slides into its locked position, otherwise you'll have troubles later on. So make sure you hold it down long enough. Well, this is all up and running now. Turn your radar to the operation mode, and you want your ground alignment to start happening. So click that to ground, and you'll see down here we've got qual 99.9. That will start counting down for our alignment. So check that back in a second. What we'll do now is start up our left, so click that, the left crank position, and this one here will start firing up. And now we can see down here our quals going down, so that's our alignment. Once that gets to 0, we can turn our navigation knob to nav. So now this one's up to 30, we'll take our left engine out of the indent and out of idle. There it is. Now that one there will start firing up. Now we can see down here our countdown is finished. So we can go over here to our right panel and take this out of our alignment mode and put it into nav mode. So that's our alignment done. We also need to uncage the rotary knob here. So just move that and that'll uncage it. Now, so we don't get shot down by anyone, make sure your IFF is turned on, so you click that and click the on. See here it's on. Also data link, make sure that one is on as well. Now over here we can see that we still have a few more things we have to set before takeoff. So FCS is our flight control system. So we have a reset button here. So hold your reset button down for a couple of seconds and that will clear that one out. So you can see now that that's gone. Also, just to make sure, reset your rudder trimmer. Just hold that one down for a couple of seconds. Now one very important switch that needs to be on is your O-bogs. So make sure you flip that on. That is your oxygen. If you do not have that on, you will black out. Now, turn your radar, these are your volume knobs, turn your radar down so it doesn't blare in your ear every time a SAM goes past, like you go by a SAM. And I also like to turn my weapons down as well. So we need to turn on the ALR down here. Turn that one on. It's a bit hard to get to. And the switch to the left here, make sure that one is on as well. Now I don't like having the map here, so you click left middle button here twice and that will put you into your HSI. So we also need to bleed our air. So this one just here, there's two knobs there. You need the bottom knob. Turn that, it'll make its little ding dong noise. Go to the next one. Just wait a couple of seconds and then go back to the norm. So that's that done. I like to have this one in my SA page and this one in my stores page. I don't have any stores on because we're not going over that in this tutorial. What we do need to do is put the hook bypass into field because we're not on the carrier. Make sure your anti-skid is on. Taxi lights are on. Flaps set to half. You can tell just here that is your landing gear, nose left and right, which means it's down. And then underneath that you'll see when I click that, that's half position, full position, and then off is auto. So we'll set that to half. Turn our brake off. And we can now taxi out to the runway. So we'll throttle up. And doesn't that just look amazing? Now I haven't set any comms or anything because I'm just in the mission editor doing a tutorial. If you're on a server, you may need to set those. We can go over that in another tutorial though. So don't need to look out for anyone. But doesn't that just look sensational at this time of night? Okay, we'll roll this over here onto the taxi, out of the taxi onto the runway. Straighten up. Brakes on. Oh, we need to turn our HUD on as well. So this one just here, HUD symbology, it's a rotary dial. Just turn it up and that turns that on. So we'll double check. Flaps are set to half, brake is off. Okay, put brakes on, spool the engines up. Release the brake, full afterburners. $100, $140, $150, $160. We are lift off. Gear up, flaps up, out of the afterburners. And doesn't that look sensational? Does not look any better than that. Beautiful.